Hello everyone, and we have chosen a topic of agriculture production in Australia, and we are five members in a group. And my name is Devinder Pal Singh Brad. Second is Srushti Patel. Third is D. Fourth is Maninder, and last one is Manpreet Kaur. We have basically divided the content into five parts. First part is done by myself, which is an industry background, and second is the market structure, which is done by Srushti. Third part is done by D, which is industries associated issues. Fourth part, which is like impacts of issues on the industry and on the Australian economy, is done by Maninder. And fifth part, which is government policy, is done by Manpreet Kaur. Introduction and background to the agriculture industry is part which is done by me. Uh, First slide include the introduction to agriculture sector. Major producer of agriculture products worldwide. Australia is known for it. I have some data over here which is showing a report of year 2015, and it tells us like more than 3,25,300 something people which are involved in the different sectors of agriculture, basically fishery, forestry, and agriculture. And secondly is annual income, which is contributing a lot to Australian economy, about 155 billion per year, which is a huge amount. And total 61% of total Australian land mass which is occupied by Australian farmers. Australian agriculture industry is basically divided into three major zones. First one is the high rainfall zone, which is basically a Tasmania region. Second is the narrow coastal zone, which is having industry of dairy, beef, and winter crops. And third part is pastoral zone, which is less fertile and having a less rainfall in it. Major agriculture products are different crops, basically like oilseeds, grain, cereal, lenticels, barley, sorghum, cottonseed, maize, chickpeas, lupins. Major sectors are horticulture and viticulture. Firstly, horticulture, which includes potato, apples, mangoes, bananas, carrots, chestnuts. Viticulture is the industry which is related to brewery, production of wine, and Australia is known for it. And it's having a different brands of production like Shiraz, Cabernet, and Sauvignon. Animal products in Australia are famous, like it's a second largest beef producer after Brazil. And other products are like lamb meat industry, pork industry, fisheries, wool, olives, beef industry, which is a major industry in all of them, which have been established and grown after the spread of mad cow disease, which is a famous disease which is spread in Canada, and after that, Australian industry of beef rose to its peak. Occupation of around 200 million of hectares of land is done on Australian farms. Anna Creek is the largest cattle station, which is located in the South Australia.
Uh, this is the second part, which is market structure of Australian agricultural sector. Uh, Australian agricultural sector is a huge producer and exporter of agricultural products and beef as well. Now, agricultural market in Australia can be described as perfect competition. There are four type of market structures in total, which is monopolistic competition, monopoly, perfect competition, and oligopoly. Now, it is very hypothetical to explain a market which can completely fit into the characteristics of perfectly competitive market. But Australian agricultural market can be nearly portrayed as perfect competition because there are various reasons for this and characteristics as well. So here are some characteristics of perfect competition which can explain this Australian agricultural market. The first and the main reason why this market structure is perfect competition is that there are huge number of producers and vendors in the market as well as buyers. The another main thing is the product is homogeneous to all the vendors, so there's no differentiation among the products which they produce. So the main thing is the product which the vendors are producing is very homogeneous to everybody, so the consumers do not have any choice. The next thing is perfect competition is that there is perfect availability of knowledge regarding the particular product. So because of this, they have the very good cost estimation for their production. And the one of the important reason is the entry and exit in the market is free without any barriers and with very less government restrictions. So thank you so much.
I will talk about agriculture, industrial, social problem. Um, since development of industrialization, agriculture have been successful to produce a lot of production for the people, but there still have three area of agriculture problem should be facing in Australia. They include the decreased variety, and second is a horticulture problem, and the next will animal industry problem. The first one is a decreased variety. In the earlier year of agriculture, the farm grow a variety of the crops and raise many different type of livestock. But now, since the developing industrialized organic agriculture, number of different type of crops and livestock has decreased because they want to use the effective way to grow the crops and livestock. Next about the horticulture problem. Um, Due to the on the world market, the low price and the low demand, the Australia also facing the same problem. And another problem that will be the urban and secondary industry demand for water. Let's reduce the farmer uh, will not don't have enough water to have their crops growth. The final one is animal industry. Um, Australia, like other states, other country who apply on the world market, uh, they they grow the animal, but due to the high cost of production, they will waste more money focus on the animal industry. And the last one is present low return from the beef and sheep meat. Uh, and the long-term lookout forward on the world market is for the price to fall. That's all the face Australia agriculture facing problem.
I'm going to describe part fourth, which is impact of the issue on the industry and on the Australian economy. Agriculture production contribute approximately 3% in Australian GDP. Climatic factors are the major issue by which GDP declines. The loss due to climatic was seen in eastern states, and in 2016 and 17 net income from farm production was 63.7 million, but in 2018 and 19 it decreased due to drought condition. And here are some data which are related to droughts on here. Next one is crop and pasture. According to Australian Bureau Agriculture Source Economic Science, loss due to drought was mostly noticed in New South Wales and it was 65%. Store of feed and fodder were destroyed and results into increase in price. Drought affects more than 50% area of eastern states and 20% of total Australian agriculture area. Production of rice was also declined and remain at 0.11 millimillion ton. And the next one is livestock. According to Australian Bureau Agriculture Source Economic Science, livestock value declined by 11% and price of irrigated water increased and result into cut off in margin of dairy farmers. Shelter price increased due to this price of cattle fallen down. And last one is export volume for rural region declined
by 14%. Thank you.
So I'm going to discuss about government policy as 58% of Australian land is used for agriculture and where 59% of the water extraction. Overall agriculture activity is based on the type of soil, water availability and climate, also on the market. Agriculture plays an important role in increasing the economy level as it offers 1.6 million jobs in Australia. On the other hand, there is beef cattle industry which also makes important role in economy level where 57% farms accounted who carry beef cattle. However, this industry is experiencing reduction in the crops production, horticulture production and problems in animal industry. So it can be assumed that unemployment will increase and it will also reduce the profitability, which will definitely reduce the total GDP. So here are some reference lists from where we collect the data and this is the end of the assignment. Thank you so much.